Hey, Owen here, and today I'm going to be building Airfix's 1/72nd scale F4 Wildcat. Airfix provided me with this kit for free, however they have not paid me or told me what to do or say. Before starting, I washed all the parts in warm soapy water with a splash of vinegar. I painted the interior parts with Humbrol 226 interior green while they were still on the sprue. The interior detail was excellent and the parts went together easily. I cut up the instrument panel decal to make it easier to apply. I didn't use all of the decals supplied for the interior. I felt they were unnecessary because of the raised detail. After the decals had dried, I applied a brown wash to the interior using watercolour paint. Once this had dried, I could wipe away the excess with a damp cotton bud. I glued in the clear windows with PVA glue, as normal polycement glue would make the clear plastic fog. The landing gear was extremely well detailed and moulded. Assembling it was fairly easy, just make sure you leave enough time for each part to dry before attaching the next. If you were building the kit with the landing gear down, you would attach it like so. However, I am building the kit with the landing gear up. After gluing in the cockpit, I found it very difficult to join the two fuselage halves. I had to take off quite a lot of plastic with my scalpel before I could get it to fit, and this was a real letdown for me. Eventually I did manage to get the fuselage to join correctly, but it was a lot of effort. When the glue had dried, there was a fair amount of sanding to be done to remove the joined seams between the fuselage halves. Once this was done, I had to rescore most of the panel lines. The kit has the option of building the wings in a retracted position, for which these parts need to be assembled like so. The fit of all these parts was very good. I didn't want the wings to be retracted however, so I built the extended versions and glued them in place. I painted the inside of the engine and engine cowling with Humbrol 33 black. I then painted the wheel wells this colour too. I dry brushed the engine with Humbrol 53 gunmetal and then brought out the well moulded detail with the colours indicated on screen. I mixed filler and applied it to some of the joints. Once it had dried, I sanded it down to make it smooth. It was quite difficult to attach the wheels and position them at the right angle, but I got there eventually. After masking off the clear parts, I thinned Humbrol 129 US Gull Grey to a ratio of 1 part water to 6 parts paint, and applied 4 coats to the underside. See my video on how to paint scale models for more information. There's a link in the description and in the cards. Humbrol 164 Dark Sea Grey was included with the Dogfight Doubles set, which surprised me as I was expecting a bluer colour like the box art suggests. Anyway, I thinned it to a ratio of 1 part water to 6 parts paint and applied 3 coats. I painted it all freehand as I wanted a softer edge between the colours than masking tape would have achieved. I applied watered down PVA glue to the areas where the decals will go, as the semi-gloss finish it leaves prevents the decals from silvering. The kit came with a lot of nicely printed and detailed decals. I applied them in my usual way, holding them in warm water for 12 seconds and then using microset decal solution to help apply them to the model. You can watch my video on how to apply decals for more information. There's a link in the cards and in the description. I applied the larger markings before sliding on the smaller stencil data. Once the decals had dried, I applied a few coats of microsol decal solution. This helps the decals conform to the surface of the model and makes them have a more painted on look. I painted the pilot figure with the colours indicated on screen. After this, I gave him a brown watercolour wash to bring out the detail in his face and clothes. I removed the excess with a damp cotton bud once it had dried. The pilot's feet had to be removed to make him sit correctly in the cockpit. I mixed a light grey chalk wash and applied it to the panel lines on the lower surface of the aircraft. See my video on how to make chalk washes for more information. There's a link in the cards and in the description. For the upper surfaces, I added more black chalk to the mix to create a darker grey and applied this to the panel lines. To create exhaust stains, I mixed some black and brown chalk dust and brushed it onto the model in the direction of the airflow. Here you can see I've added the yellow tips to the propeller blades and painted the port and starboard lights. For the canopy, I thinned Humbrol 164 and applied it with a very fine brush. The advantage of using acrylic is that once it is dry, it can be scraped off with a sharpened piece of sprue. This allows you to neaten up any mistakes. The kit has the option to build a canopy in the open position, which requires using separate parts included with the kit. Once the canopy was painted and neatened up, I glued it in place with PVA glue, and with that the model was complete. So overall, I think this is a really well detailed kit. I was especially impressed by the landing gear and the option for the retracted wings. I thought that was a really nice touch. The decals, as usual, were really good quality, well printed, and there are quite a lot of them, so when you put them on the finished model, it does add to the detail that is already there in the moulding. The only bad points about the kit were the fact that the Dogfight Doubles, I was expecting more of a blue colour to come with it rather than the grey colour that is included. I don't know if it's historically accurate, I think it looks alright though, so I'm not too bothered. Obviously, the other bad point is the fuselage fit, which was terrible, and I still don't know quite what the problem was with that. It could just have been my sprue, so I'd be interested to hear in the comments if anyone has built this kit, what your experiences were of it. So for that reason I wouldn't recommend this kit to beginners because it is quite complex in places, and also the fit of the fuselage is quite difficult to work around. But for more advanced modelers, it definitely is a really well detailed kit of the Wildcat, and I've heard that it is one of the best Wildcat kits on the market at the moment. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.